Hi, Mandy from SunflowersandDors. Welcome back. So yeah, this is Down the Rabbit Hole, episode 2, if you like. And this is the completed signatures. Very neat, I know. I have literally put the signatures together. I'm going to give you a quick look through one of them. Just to give you an idea, I've done the signatures, I've done the ephemera inside, I've done some embellishing, but yeah, literally just a quick run through of some of the things that I've started to put together, and yeah, I'll go through the full whammy once we're finished. I've put some lace. I've used some of the Tim Holtz, what's a journal without Tim Holtz? Tim Holtz Crackle. I thought that was great because it actually, you know, Alice in Wonderland is so fragmented, isn't it? The whole world that they're in is just absolutely balmy. So I've kind of tried to mirror that a little bit in the journal. I have left lots and lots of journaling space. And I've tried to kind of balance the right amount of kind of embellishments. I still got to put a string on these here, but yeah, it's, as I said, it's a beautiful kit, and absolutely loving working with it. So this, as I said, is just a bit of a teaser for the first signature that I have been working on. Gorgeous little Alice there. Okay, so there's 3 of those. As I said, they are quite chunky, but and they're very neat. But hopefully, once all this comes together, then this is going to be hopefully something quite special. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to work on the cover. So if you bear with me a moment, I'm just going to grab all of that stuff together, and we'll run through it together. Okay, so this is going to be my cover. I'm just going to measure my signatures so I know what I'm working with. At the moment they are 20... just over 20, say 20 and a half centimetres. So I'm going to go up to 21 and a half. It's going to be my, 21 and a half is going to be my length. And the width is, I think if I do 15 and a half, that's going to cover me for the overhang as well. So 15 and a half for the width. Okay, so let's just pop these away. Down there. Excuse me. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be working with. Well, what I'm hopefully going to be working with. I struggled to find some Alice fabric that kind of matched the colours, but I have recently bought this Tim Holtz fabric, and it's just flowers, and it's got some writing on. Absolutely loved it, and I thought, do you know what, this is, I think, going to go perfectly with this kit. So this is what we're going to use. Now I actually ordered this, and I could have done it myself, but it's just a printout of part of the kit, a smaller version of Alice. I was going to use this for the front, to be honest, but it was a lot smaller than I had anticipated, so I think it would have looked a little bit lost. Excuse me. So I'm going to use that within the journal somewhere, but it just won't be on the cover. And I'm going to go with this. This is just a piece of card that I printed the image on. I've sewn around the edges, and this will be the main focus, I think, for the front of my journal, and I can always embellish it a little bit more. I am going to be using, as normal, I'm going to be using an elastic closure, elastic signatures, so they're going to be put in with elastics rather than sewn in. I kind of, once I got onto that with Rachel from Rachel and Bella Craft, and kind of once I'd done it, I thought, well, why wouldn't you do it? Because it gives you an opportunity to kind of take pieces out, add to them, without wrecking the whole journal. So yeah, that is my preferred option, but these can be stitched in just as easily. Yeah, your choice. I've got a load of charms, Alice in Wonderland charms. I'm going to try and incorporate these within the cover. And any that I don't use, I will put on some more tabs and put them into the journal itself. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'm just going to pop these pieces away for now, and we'll focus on our cover. Okay, so this is just literally Amazon packaging. I'm going to tear these pieces off here to start with. It's a bit of, I don't know, it's fantastic to use the Amazon packaging because it really does do the job. But I like to reinforce it then, because I do think sometimes that it can get a little bit wobbly, and I kind of want to make sure that the journal's kind of there to stay, if you like. One of the things I would say is, if there is any text or writing or whatever on the front of your packaging, you're probably better off getting it off before you start, because I don't know how many times I've left it on and the fabric has been quite sheer, so all you've seen is Amazon packaging. So with this fabric, it's not too much of a problem, to be honest, because it is quite substantial. It's nice and thick. Okay, we're not gonna spend too much time worrying about that. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So I usually go for about a 5 centimetre spine, and then my measurements are going to be 21.5 down, which is easy to do, and then 15.5 across. So if I say 15.5 across, plus I want to do the spine, so if I do half of the spine on this measurement and half on that, so that's going to be another 2.5 for the spine. So 18 centimetres is what I want to be measuring across the width here. So let's see first of all how much we've got over here. Okay, the next thing I am going to do, sorry, I got ink on me, you must excuse that, is I am going to just reinforce the cover and the spine. I'm not going to be able to do that because of that 15 again. Oh, honestly, it's balmy. So that will be for that one. hopefully that will fit. Probably a bit big there because that's off as well. I've never known anybody, and I genuinely mean this, I've never known anybody who gets measurements so wrong. Okay, so that is that there. And it should be 22 down here, so we're just going to cut it just under that. So this will be reinforcement for the back. Excuse me, I'm going to do exactly the same. And I'm going to cut out some reinforcements for the spine and this side here, and I will be right back with you. Okay, that doesn't particularly matter because we're going to kind of build on that anyway, so we're not worried about that side of things. So the first thing we want to do is decide which side we're going to cover, and I tend to like to kind of flip it inside out and cover the opposite side. So this will go on here. Now you only need to give it a good glue, but you know a good glue stick will do for this one as it is. Just make sure it's covered well. I don't know if I'm the only person as well who gets this problem with glue sticks. Okay. Okay. And you'll have to excuse me now as well, because I either talk rubbish while I'm concentrating or I don't talk at all. So I'm not sure which you prefer, to be honest, but there we go. Oh. Been singing You Raise Me Up all morning. I don't know where that's come from, but it's been in my head all morning. So I do sometimes just break out in song. Okay. And just check that they are good to go. And then we're just going to attach our middle piece. And as I said, you don't need to do this, but I hate the thought of, you know what it's like, packaging can disintegrate over time, and I hate the thought of somebody ending up with a journal that kind of is only going to last them a period of time when you want it to last them forever. Okay. It's actually a Tuesday morning after the bank holiday Monday, Easter bank holiday Monday, and I have a week off work, so I'm enjoying being able to have a lazy morning and a cup of coffee, bit of crafting. Okay, all I'm doing now is I am using some craft tape to just reinforce the cover. Again, you'll probably think it's overkill, but I just prefer to do it than not to do it. This crafting tape, it's just a crafting tape from Amazon, and it's really good, actually, really good quality, so I'm pleased with it. So I'm just going to do this with the rest of the journal, and I won't make you watch that, so I will be right back with you. Okay, so I have literally gone over the cover, so you can see already it just gives one, a nicer finish, and two, it just adds a little bit of stability. And then the only thing I do here is, if there's any piece of card that looks as though it could fold, then I just pop a little bit of extra tape on that to make sure I'm happy. As I said, probably overkill, but I would prefer a journal to leave me in the knowledge that I've done everything I can to make it last. So I will be putting journal corners on this, so that will help with the corners so that they won't bend, which is something that sometimes happens. But yeah, that is my cover, and I'm a lot happier with that. Very sturdy. Okie dokie. I don't think I actually suffer with OCD, but it's moments like this that you do question yourself, you know? Okay, so we want the pattern going downwards like so. Downwards, downwards, downwards. So it's going to come down here. So I think I will probably get away with cutting it here. Sorry, I've just cut that off camera. And I might even, loads left. I think I bought this one from Art from the Heart. I didn't realise they did it in smaller pieces. So yeah, well, impressed with that piece. Okay, so we said that there, and hopefully it will be enough to also do the inside. Yeah, I think it will. So I love doing that now. I never used to do it, and Rach from Rach and Bella Craft, I used to watch her doing it all the time, and I used to cringe thinking, oh no, it's going to rip where it shouldn't rip, but it is actually perfect. Okay, so brilliant, happy with that. We're going to use this as our guide in terms of straightness, and all we're going to do is we are going to glue this onto our back sheet as a starting point. Now, you can use whatever glue you want to. I kind of do this part it depends on what I'm planning to do. If I'm planning to stitch around the edging, then, excuse me, I'll go with glue, definitely go with glue. If I'm not planning to stitch around the edging, then I will occasionally go with attaching the actual fold over fabric with sticky tape, sticky you know, the double-sided sticky stuff. So yeah. Okay, so just giving this a quick go over with some glue stick. Just for a little bit of extra backing. And then I use Fabri-Tac. I used to struggle with the bleeding through of the Fabri-Tac. So what I tend to do now is I'll just put it on and then just gently rub over it with my finger to kind of make it less pronounced in certain places. You know what I mean? Okay. Okie dokie. So I'm going to turn this over and literally going to pop it on here like that. Okay. I mean, the great thing with this fabric is there's so many tones in there anyway that you don't always, loads of different tones and colours, that you don't even, in fairness, see much through it, you know? And this is your time now. If you've got any creases in it, then get them out. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Just get some of this excess glue off. Okay, so all I'm going to do now, if I can get the glue off me, is I'm just going to cut part of these corners off. I do leave probably longer than I need on this corner piece here. Hope you can see. But that's only because I've cut myself short before now and it just really doesn't look great. And even though we're going to be putting book bookends on, then if you're going to do a job, you want to do it right, don't you? So just cut some of this excess off here. Okay, so again with our Fabri-Tac, and all I'm going to do here is literally flip this over like so, just because it tends to give you a straighter, well, I think it gives you a straighter edging. So just gonna make sure that these pieces here cover, or it fits in nicely so that when we fold it, we're gonna have a nice crisp end on that. Yeah, I really do probably go overboard, but this was one of the first real struggles with with crafting was learning to put a signature on. And as I said, there's so many videos out there and people do it so many different ways that you've just got to play, but sometimes it's an expensive lesson, isn't it? Now, a lot of people will at this point clamp those down, just so it gives it time to dry. But in fairness, I find the Fabri-Tac dries quite quickly anyway, so it's never anything that I stress about, surprisingly. Okay, loving this cover, beautiful cover. Okay, so for these ends now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because, oh gosh, I'm going to spill my coffee and everything else that goes with it. Excuse the slurping, I do apologise. Okay, so what I do with this one before I start anything else is I put a tad of glue there and a tad of glue there. And then I try, now this is a tip from Tracy Fox, and then I try to fold that little piece in there so it's folded before you, and glued before you actually start what you're doing. So like, almost like that, not quite, but almost like that. And it is definitely worth taking that couple of minutes to really try and get this right, because you do end up with a really, really nice corner. As I said, I'm going to be putting book corners on this anyway, so it's not as if it's going to be a problem. But just, as I said, it was something I watched on one of Tracy's videos, and yeah, I've tried to stick with that ever since. And then you will always get little bits, but something like that I can cut off without it being a problem. Okie dokie. And then for this side, now this side I've left myself less space, so sometimes it doesn't work as good, but we'll see. Sometimes a credit card's quite good for this as well. So you flatten it down and then fold it over. And then the same with this one, you flatten it down and then fold it over. Almost off the cinema, isn't it? I haven't been to the cinema for ages. Well, that's not true, actually. I did go and I saw the JLo film a couple of months ago, but that was the first time in ages. It was a brilliant movie. Really loved it. Okay. Okay, so that is the outside of our journal done. So all we've got left to do now is the inside. Really loving this material, fabric. Oh gosh, come on. I'm sure I wear more of the glue than I actually put on the paper in the end. Okay, so we're now going to do the inside. piece, which we had here. And you might think it's a bit overkill to have the same material on the inside as we have on the outside. And you'd probably be right, to be honest, but seeing as I've got it, and seeing as it is such a beautiful kit that I'm working with, I'm happy to do that. Now, occasionally, Tim Holtz will do a, what do you call it, a fabric tape. He will do a fabric tape occasionally, and it will match his fabrics and his papers. And when he does that, I love to do a kind of like a fabric tape border around the edge, just so that I know it definitely won't come away. But again, if you're going to do a load of, you're going to glue it on really well, then you don't have to worry too much. So what I'm going to do, and this is again a fairly new process of using fabric on the inside without using tape to secure it. So any tips on how to do it better, I will greatly appreciate. Okay. Really just need to work the edge bit so that it is quite close to the edge without spilling over, and then the inside bit can just be kind of spread out a bit. Okay, so let's check that I've got this the right way, and then I'm going to, in fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to put the material down like so, and then I'm going to put this, why is that? That's right. I'm going to put this on it like that. I hate that. Do you know when you make a new journal and you love it? Oh, I've got ink. Why have I got thing coming out there? I wonder if I've got a hole in there. Oh, strange. Very strange. Gosh, this stuff is like spider's webs. It just sticks to everything. Anyway, probably not the time to be doing this. So, and just, you know, like I said, feel for your materials. If there's any lumps or bumps, now's the time to take them out. Okay, now all I do with this then at the moment is just turn it back over, and I'm going to cut. Now the best way to do this, I'm going to cut it so that it's literally, it's just off the edge. So that will be our cover. That even will be our cover. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around the edges here, and I'm just going to make sure that it's glued down. And I've also got some glue that you can use to stop fraying, materials fraying. So if you were worried about that, then it's something you can pop on. I like fraying materials, to be honest, because I think it adds a bit more character. But again, that is personal choice, so if it's not your thing, okay. Okay. See, once this really starts to fray, it's going to look pretty awesome. Well, I think it'll look pretty awesome. I love the look, but let's just tidy it up for now. Okay, so yeah, look at that. That's going to look fab. Okay, so that's our cover. Let's grab our signatures again, just to make sure that they fit. If they don't, the whole thing's going to have to put up with a tantrum off me and go in the bin. Okay, yeah, happy with that. And then we'll put a closure on there. That opens out nicely. Okay, so yeah, happy. So, sorry, more coffee before it goes completely cold. So I'm going to leave this settle. And what I want to do is I want to create a template for the centre. So it has to be just under 5 centimetres, and you'll see the logic in a moment. So if I do this just under 5 centimetres, so that it would fit in our... See, even that doesn't fit. So it'll fit in our inside the spine. Get a tad more off. Glue that bit down. It's better. Miss this bit completely. So that then will come up to about here. Okay, so we're going to let that. How does that look? It's fine. It's just the pattern making me go funny. So we're going to let that dry. Right, what we have on here is, this is the size of our spine. And so what I want to do is I want to do a template, right, that is going to, so this is, well, 5 centimetres, okay? So I want to do a template that is going to let me do the eyelet in the same place every time. I hate when the eyelets are like, as much as you try, they're uneven. So I'm just going to mark 1 centimetre off the top. See, even that doesn't look right. I told you I am absolutely just the wrong person to be measuring. So we've got 1 centimetre off the top here. We're going to do 1 centimetre down here. And we're going to do that. Now, I'm also then going to go up 0.5 centimetre. Bear with me. Like so. And the same on this side. Like so. Right, so I am going to measure in 1 centimetre from this end, which is going to be here. Then I'm going to measure in 1 centimetre from this end, which is going to be here. And then that middle space is 2.5 centimetres, just over. So if I do 1 1/4, see whether that looks about right. No, let's do this. That's 3, so that's there. 1, 2, 3. So it would be 1.5 there. Now that looks about right, well, at least at even anyway. So I'm going to do the same on this one here. I'm going to come in 1 centimetre there. We are going to come in 1 centimetre there. And then we are going to there. Still doesn't look perfect, but hey ho. Then I'm going to cut out these holes. See, that doesn't look right there, does it? It's a bit better. So the 1 centimetre mark has given us a place to rest the top of the crocodile. And then the 0.5 centimetre mark okay, that's not bad. Not bad, not bad. So the idea is that I will use this on my cover. So it will pop in there like that. And I make sure it's straight. And I should be able to. God, it feels like a Saturday today. I can hear people out in the gardens and yeah, it feels very weekendy. So I'm then going to literally just try and mimic these holes. Oops, daisy. Like so. Now this is really useful for me because most of my journals are this size, and most of them have 3 signatures. So that suits me down to the ground. So we're going to do the same on this one here. God, keep spitting at me. That's actually worked better than I thought it would. So I'm going to keep that because I think that will come in useful. Okay, so the next thing is, let's put these in. And see what it looks like. Okay, that's one. Two. And okay, so that's our eyelets done. And the other ones we need to do now are going to be on this piece here. I might use the same template for that. I might just take it from there to there and do a line. And then I can measure there. So that'll go on there like that, and we will cut it. Like that. I'll do the same on the other side. Cut that bit there as well. Okay. Oops, a daisy. Let's get that off. Let's get that off. Yep, that's great. So let's just do these quickly. So that is our cover. Now, depending on what you're gonna put on, where, how, and the like, if that even makes sense, this is where you'll play with it a little bit. Now I'm going to be using this as my cover, and I really do like that. Now I didn't know whether to use some lace around that as well. So what I was going to do was put this around that on there, and then that would have gone around here. But to be honest, I don't think I need it. Let me just have a look. No, I don't need it. Do I? I'm just standing up to have a look in there. I need to get one of those things that... No, I'm not going to do that because it's going to take too much of the focus away from the cover. So where's my pin gone? I'm sure I'll find it when I stab myself. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's just pop that in there. So I'm going to glue this onto our cover. That wouldn't be nice. That would have been lovely on the back, actually, with perhaps that on. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to use Fabri-Tac again because I'm gluing something with stitches in, and I'm also gluing it directly onto fabric. The only thing to be aware of is sometimes it comes through the stitch holes. But just going to make sure that that is definitely going to stay on, and we're going to put that there like that. Is that straight? I think that looks straight. Okay. These will be our insides. Sounds a bit gross, I know, but hey ho. Now I use a very thick 2mm thread to hold the signatures in, and because of that, you just need to be aware that your inside signature, so the page inside, needs to be sturdy to kind of hold the paper without ripping it. And I literally just, a knot is all I do for that. I don't pull it too strong. I do it enough that you can remove the signature at any point if you would like to. So the same with this one here. Now I haven't decided on what materials I'm going to use for the closure yet, but to be honest, I might use a button with this elastic. Come on. This is where I need somebody else's finger to hold that in place. But yeah, sometimes you can attach the button with this, and it does look really nice, and I think it might suit. So I'll trial that, but if it doesn't, then that's okay as well, because we will decide on another signature for it, another closure for it. I will tighten these up once I'm happy with everything being where it needs to be. Let's put that there. That's a bit easier. And literally, that then is your journal, other than the signature piece. And as you can see, if you do your eyelets right at the top, then it does give you room to have the signatures without them ripping into your paper, which isn't great. So I will be looking for a closure on that. You can still see it's still a little bit crocodile mouthy, but once I put a closure on that, it will pull together a little bit better. I'm thinking, I don't want to waste this now that I've bought it, so I'm thinking that that might even be nice. Perhaps on one of the covers on the insides. So that might go on there. Possibly. I'll grungy it first, and that's a possibility. And then I only have left to do is decide on what I'm doing with my little bits and pieces. Now I've got a big one here which I wanted to try and incorporate onto this somehow. I might put that on whatever I use as the closure to go there. And then with this one here, I did want to kind of put these on, but I don't know how then I would attach that unless it was on the back here somehow, which is doable. If I put that under here, like so, it will move, but it could work. I don't know. So the next step is to decide on what I'm doing with the closures, is to decide on what I'm doing with these little pieces here, and then I will do a full flip through for you, so you can see what the kind of end piece looks like. So this will be tomorrow for you, and have a great day, great evening, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.